Hello, everybody. Renee here, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and it's more about the abstract beauty. All right. Hello, everybody. Renee here. I'm pretty sure that I am live, and I hope everyone is doing well. I can see it in the background already. Sorry for my reach. Hope everybody is doing well today. Well, it's about 3 o'clock, a little bit earlier than usual. I'm did that kind of fast, got all prepped pretty fast, but it's a Monday and it's around 3 o'clock, and that's when I do my lives. Okay, so we are going to be talking about alternates for the Abstract Beauty Suite. If you haven't seen that suite, please go to last Monday's recording on YouTube, and I will link it down in the directions on YouTube. If you go to the YouTube link, and you'll be able to catch the Abstract Beauty Suite and all of its splendor. All right. So last week, it's all about alternate cards. So last week, this is the card that I built for you using the Abstract Beauty card bases and those materials. All right. And I added one other stamp set, one of the new ones in the mini catalog, to that. All right. And so this week, I am going to show you how to build this little pop-up. You might have seen it as the diamond pop-up. It's really quite nice card. And using this time, not only the Hello Beautiful stamp set with that Beautiful Shapes dies. Okay, so this set right here. Besides using this, I used the Amazing Silhouettes. All right, and I'm trying to just use 2 different stamp sets with building these cards. I also did use this one for the Welcome Springtime Joy. So just a small little sentiment. It could be a hello or any other sentiment. And I'll show you how I do that and how I do that Welcome Spring and how I get this. All right. So what you're going to need is one card base turned inside out and the front folded back in half. So that would be scored at 2 inches. All right. And so that is going to be your inside of your card. All right. The next piece, I'm going to keep that there. The next piece you would use then, this is 4 inches long. The width can vary. It can be anywhere, and that's the pop-up mechanism. This is 2 inches wide, and this one I made a lot smaller because I can, and this is about 1.25 inches wide. And that's because when I do add my piece to it, more of it will be hidden. And so it'll go like this. And so then just much more of it will be hidden. And I'll show you what I do, like I did over here, which I think is quite fun and gives a nice little background to the card. All right. So that's the mechanism that will pop this piece up. So you need the largest hexagon and 3 of the smaller hexagons. Okay. And that's how we do that. And the other is, of course, you have a 6x4 sheet of DSP, all right, that you are using from the kit itself. And what I do is, and I'm going to show you that in a second, I'm just going to pull one out for you. Here's one. So what I do is I cut the 2 strips, okay, at 1 7/8 and 1 7/8. All right. And then I get an extra strip And I save those pieces for the background on that pop-up. And you can see that right there and how I use that. And I'll use a little bit of that again for this one so you can see that. Since that's only 4 inches, you don't get much from that. So that's 1 7/8 by 1 7/8. And then I also then just cut it. This is 6 long, so it's 5 7/8 is what I cut. All right, this one looks like I cut a little bit more, but that's fine. But that is the idea. So you take one of your sheets, 1 7/8, cut it 1 7/8, keep the strips. All right, you can use them for other things as I showed you last week. And then here it's going to be 5 7/8 that you're going to cut off, and you can decide what part you want to cut off. And so this is pretty much what you get with some little leftovers, okay, that you can use in the background. All right, once that's done, I'm going to go ahead and just place these in here. All right, and I can decide how I want to do those. I can go on a more I can do opposites, which I have a tendency to do, or I can do 2 same sides like that if I want. All right, but typically I will use this side. I will go from darker to lighter, lower, I think. I'm going to just kind of see. No, I think I'll go from lighter to darker. So I will be simply gluing those 2 pieces on there that I cut for you. So this card is really a fun card. And what I'm trying to show you more and more is that you can use like the cards and more, and like this suite that had cards and envelopes ready for you, you can go ahead and alter them fairly easily. Now that's a tight fit, and I like tight fits. So that's fine. That's a nice tight fit, and that's fine. And just because I like the fun of it, I'm going to put this one the other way. So next week again, I will show you another card that is kind of an alternate using just cardstock, but actually you'll end up with 2 cards when you cut one of them up, and you will see that. And one of the cards, I'll give you a little preview. This is just from the cards themselves that are in the suite. I made a card like this, okay? And I'll show you how to do that. And so these were from this cards, but if you just order cards and more, any pack that you like, you can make something like this as well. So these, I'm going to show you how to make those kind of cards using a pre-cut card. And that's what I like to do. I love making cards out of pre-cut cards and making alternate cards out of those. Okay. So I'm going to show you what I did. So here, what you do is you have to line these up to do the stamping. So what I did is I went ahead, this is the center, this is the bottom. So it went like this and like this. And then this was the top. And I took these and I put them right up against each other, okay? I took these and put them right up against each other. And then I took this one and did the exact same thing. Okay, that one I had to go a little bit differently because I had it, I could have probably done it the other way, but I think this way was the better way, so I left it that way. So this is a little bit askew, but that's okay. I went like that. Then I take the big stamp from the kit. And I put it on my, and you can use a Stamparatus for this if you want to. This is a great moment to use a Stamparatus. All right. And what I try to do with these is you take your time to align them. All right. You'll take your time to align them just right, so it'll work for you. So just like that. All right. Then what I did is I take, now you can do this with stamp pads as well. But what I did is there are two colors in here. And I took the Night of Navy and I took the Bermuda Bay actually. And what I first do is I first put on the Bermuda Bay. And whenever you do this and you use your markers, what you want to make sure is that when you put your marker through, as you go sideways, don't do this because you ruin your tip. And so you're going to go sideways. All right. And then you're going to go ahead and color everything in. Now, if you have now in Bermuda Bay, I don't have the spot or the ink. So I would just go ahead and do, this is, oh, I think I used, I am sorry. No, what I used was the Just Jade. You could do it that way, but I used the Just Jade. That is what I did because Just Jade was in there. I could have used, but sorry about that. It was Just Jade. And so I just go ahead and do that. And then I can take that midnight, the midnight and go ahead and just on those edges, I can go ahead and I just do this kind of quickly around the interior, and then you stamp. All right, so this is all ready to go. And then I would go right ahead and stamp right on top. I would stand up and stamp right on top. And I'm going to show you that, how that comes out so you can see that. And basically, here is this one. All right, they each come out a little differently. But you see how beautiful that is. And that's all I did. Once I got that done, when I went ahead, I did use Magenta Madness. I did use Magenta Madness. And I took the butterfly, which is beautiful, that I had done in this card. And I just went ahead, here's the stamp. I just went ahead and decided which way I was going to stamp it. And I just stamped it here in Magenta Madness. And then after I did my one stamping, I stamped here a little bit and here a little bit, just to bring it all together. Okay. And so all I did was use this butterfly stamp to do that. And this is a second generation stamp. I think this one was also, I stamped off and then stamped on, so it would be lighter. So it wouldn't be as dark as that one was. All right. So that's what I did with those. Okay. So now the next thing was the Welcome Spring. And the way I do that is I did use my pen. And what I do is, here is the Welcome Spring. And all I do, and this is what I love about pens, all I do is just do this section. And right next to there, I put in the welcome. And so I would do welcome. And then I would clean that off, because you definitely have to clean that off. And then all I would color in would be the spring right here. And as you see, I use the side, always use the side. And then right here, right underneath, I would put welcome spring. And that is it. Of course, I would have cleaned it off and you wouldn't see that at all. My kit just didn't do what it felt. My cleaner fell, and so it didn't quite clean off the surface. So didn't quite get it clean. But so that's all you do. And you can have a hello or anything else, but it's fairly easy when they're long like that. When they are longer, it's easy to go ahead and just color in the one, clean it off, and then do the other. But you do need to make sure you clean it well, okay? And that's all that was. I do that so that it goes a little faster on the video and everything is prepared. Okay, so as you see here, what I'm going to do is we can go ahead and start gluing this in. And what I found out is you have to go pretty high here to get them all fitted in here. And I just go to the halfway point. Okay, so I'm just going to glue the half in. That is my top. So I'm just gluing in that half and going pretty high here and making sure that I'm centered all the way. Like that. That's that one. Then this one comes in right here, but I always do the bottom one first so that I make sure that I center them. So always do, if you have to center something in between two things, you do the top and the bottom and then the center one. So I'm going to do this. And I'm going to go ahead and fit that down there. Just like that. Make sure that everything is good. Make sure it's pretty centered. Up there enough. Just a little tug there. There it is. Okay, then I'm gonna fit this one in so nicely right in between, just like that, and I can do my spacing exactly. Okay, so that one's gonna go here. So I'm gonna go and do that part. And that's going to fit right here. As you'll notice on this one, sorry, on this one, I went all the way to the end. Trying to make sure it's centered. Yeah, that looks good. That looks perfect. Okay, so there you go, right? And now we're going to put in our piece. All right, so how you do this is fairly simple. You are going to go ahead and glue this down, and this down like that, okay? And you do want it in the center opposite that piece. So you are looking right here and making sure that that's where that is, all right? And the other thing I would do is I would go ahead, and I'm hoping I find my little strips. I do have my little strips. I find that my strips will go on this piece right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the glue and just go down a little bit. Said it was that piece right there. So I'm going to take this and just glue that right here, right to the edge. Make sure it's straight. That little piece. Like that. And then I'm going to take, I do have another one, which I'm going to take, which is in the blues. And I'm going to go ahead and do that strip as well, just to make sure that everything is covered. Like that. Just doesn't need much glue. I could go right against it. I just might do that this time. You can decide how you want to do that in the future, but I decided to go right against it. I think that that will work pretty well. Now, as you see here, you've got two little spots, one here and one here. So I can take this and I can go ahead and cut this off right here at the edge, right there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, hopefully I didn't lose that piece. I did not. I'm going to take this piece right here, as small as that piece is. It's going to work beautifully. I'm just going to take that strip. I'm using pretty much trying to use all that paper up. There you go, that one. And you're not going to see the center, so it's going to be perfect. So, sorry. So just putting some glue right there, just a tiny amount. And I'm going to put that in there, right there, just like that. And then I will cut that edge piece off like that. Once I get that glued on, it'll be just fine. So we're going to go ahead and glue this bottom piece on first, just like that. And we're going to take it and we're going to eyeball it that it's kind of in the center there, which it looks like it is. It does look like that, right to that edge. Do you see that? Right to that center fold. Just like that, right to the center fold. Not over it, but on it. Just like that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this edge to that other center fold, just like that. And again, this, and I'm going to go ahead and just do this, just like that. That looks perfect. Very easy mechanism. I'm going to hold this for just a few minutes. It can be wider. It can be even thinner than this. I think it could even be half the size if we wanted it to be. I don't think it has to be this big, but right here we have our piece. Now, if you would have done this way, but I decided to go this way. I might have done it the other way. Might have just been as well. You want to sit there and you want to glue that down. Make sure that's glued down. And now all you have to do is pop that in there. And so the way this is going to work, as you see here, it's just going to go right here. So I'm just going to do this little tip right here, not too much, just right there. And I did the wrong side. It should have been this side. It's all right. This right here, it'll be okay because I will get rid of that glue. That won't be a problem. So it's that side right there that gets glued on. I'm going to try and glue that on without getting this glue. I might, because I don't want to get any glue on this. So I'm going to hold that for just a moment. Okay, so now you see here, oopa. Oh, there you go. Sorry. Moving all the way around. Right there, like that. You can see the butterfly. See how that looks? And then they open up. And there you go. Yes, that is perfect. And so when you have that open, you can see all those pieces of that tree. Just like that. Sorry, just like that. So I thought that was kind of cool. That is the pretty much the card. if you want to put a saying in here, just like the welcome spring, there is a new Easter stamp set that I showed you last week. Wishing warm and happy wishes this spring, and you could put that right up here, or happy Easter right up here. Pretty much you could do that. I truly would not do that for my card, the welcome spring, and then I would go ahead and put my sentiments right in here. There is still space to write and to give your love. If you did want to not write in here, of course, there is the back side of your card that you could write. All right. And so here is that card. That simple. Wasn't that easy? So next week, again, we will have another card that will be using the Abstract Beauty, and we'll show two cards, how to make two cards that one you use the other for. So they kind of, you're going to use a piece of one of the cards, and then you can use that other piece that you cut up to make that second card. That's what I wanted to say. Okay, everybody. I hope you have a good day, and I will check you later. If you are seeing this on YouTube versus live on my Facebook, please like, I would really appreciate that. And hit the bell to subscribe to my YouTube and get these lives every Monday around 3 o'clock. Okay, have a great day, folks. And I will see you soon. Bye-bye now.